No, it was amazing to do that. When I remember hearing when we first heard that we'd got the Gene Pitney tour, and we're going on tour with Gene Pitney, big star, and naturally we expected there was it Mike Lucas and the Big Sound, or and Simon Dupree and the Big Sound, Amen Corner, Love Affair were on, some nights they were on, and Mike Cotton and the Big Sound, or anyway, and we're all on this bus, 56-seater, whatever it was, 42-seater, coach, and we get on at Paddington, and everybody meets at Paddington to get on the coach to go on the tour, and who turns up? Gene Pitney gets on the bus with everybody else, called a coach in those days, wasn't it? And you gobsmacked. Gene Pitney's getting on the bus with you. I remember sitting there with a suitcase upended, all playing cards. Gene Pitney sitting there playing cards. Incredible. You stand back for a few seconds and you think, well, here I am, dreaming at school. And here I am now on a coach, doing a tour with Gene Pitney. This is big time. And we either closed the first half or we opened the second half, and that was a nice spot to have. And I always remember there was a guy called Don King, I think it was, or John King, not the boxing promoter Don King, John King. He was a hard tour manager, looked after all of us. And one night we were standing behind the tabs waiting for the lights to go down, all that, and I just went like that through the tabs, and he saw me, and I got such a bollocking. I got so told off. If you ever do that again, you're off this tour, you'll never work again, all that, And that was one of the first times actually where I remember we started feeling that is this really for us? This being told what to do malarkey, because we'd always been done what we want and played how we want and where we wanted, and all of a sudden people telling us what to do, and we didn't really like it. And I think that was the beginning of the end of the pop career, if you like. And I mean, it had only just started, but the frilly shirts and all of that was bad enough. But to then be told what to do, and we didn't really like that. But I mean, it was a fantastic. We had a great time, and Gene Pitney remained a friend after that, and he was actually responsible for getting my mum, because I don't know whether I told you this story. When I was a kid, I always loved Sunday night at the London Palladium. I mean, it was amazing, and my mum and dad faithfully watched it, as I did, and I got my rolling. Yeah, and I remained friends with Gene for many years. We spoke occasionally on the phone, and it was really lovely. He was such a lovely man, and he was responsible, because I said I'm coming up to town with my mum and my auntie Dot, and he was doing a week at the Palladium, and I said, one lunchtime, would it be possible just to walk my mum and dad onto the seat? He said, of course he would, sort it out for you. So, unbelievable for my mum and my auntie Dot and me to walk onto the stage at the Palladium and, say, well, there you go. They've all stood here, And it was wonderful, and they stayed for the show, and he said some lovely words about them, and he was lovely, Gene. So that was a great story about the Palladium, I've always wanted to play there. And we've only played there once when we did the Terry Wogan Sunday show from there, and we did the sound check on before the show, and everybody disappeared off the stage, and I kind of looked around, and I went to the front of the stage with my guitar turned down and went, "Baby face, you got that cute," and so I stood in the middle of the Palladium stage, singing "Baby Face," and I've done it. So if we never play there now, I've done that.